Hi, I'm Bill McLaughlin, Editor-in-Chief of Furniture Today. Welcome to this week's edition of FTTV Friday. If you take a look behind me, you'll see that we're undergoing some renovation. So if you hear some noise, if you hear some banging, it's all good news in the long run. In this week's paper, we are announcing the 5 family dynasties that we will be honoring at the Leadership Conference, December 1st through 3rd in Naples, Florida. We hope you'll join us for that. And you'll read a little bit more about that in the paper. But this year we're going to be honoring Ashley, Badcock, El Dorado, Grand Home Furnishings, and Jerome's, each of which have had family members operating actively in those businesses for at least 3 generations. And you'll be reading about that more in the coming issues, but we hope you'll tune to this week's paper. And now we're going to kind of go around the room here and talk about some of the other things that are happening in the world of furniture. Powell, what's new in your world?
Well, Bill, I'd say the big news around the office right now is that the renovation has been finished in the break area. The ice maker's done, so ice water is back on the menu. This week's edition, we're going to have another installment of our Made in America series, and we got profiles of Kendall, Charleston Forge, and a group of Amish furniture resources. I made the trip up to Charleston Forge for that, and I really enjoyed it because I don't think you'll find another company making that sort of product, occasional and accent, focusing on forged metal in this country on a production factory scale. So I think that'll be some good reading for everybody.
In this week's edition, actually, I have a profile of a company that I visited down in Mexico a few weeks back before the Vegas market called International Furniture Direct. And what was interesting about this company was that they have a very vertically integrated operation, from the growth of the timber to the sawing of the lumber and the processing of the lumber in their production facilities in Mexico, which makes them very competitive to the U.S. market in terms of their proximity. On the other side of the coin, there's other big news, which we're going to have in this coming week's edition, about the Chinese government's decision to devalue their currency not just once, but 3 times in a matter of days. And at one point, the currency was, I think, about valued at a drop of 4.4%. So this is going to make Chinese manufacturers, their import partners, be able to be more competitive in the global market, particularly when compared to some of their Asian counterparts. In Vietnam, for example, is a primary competitor. And we have some good comments from importers, retailers alike on what they see happening as this story continues to unfold.
Well, in this issue, I've got my 3rd of 4 quarterly reports on the rug industry, and I am taking a look at the hand-knotted channel. It's one that consumers tell us, 4 out of 10 consumers tell us that that's their preferred channel, and a lot of those consumers, they're more affluent or they're looking for the designs that you can only get from hand-knotted wool or hand-knotted wool and other materials like silk or viscose. The channel isn't without its difficulties, however. Chief among them are a decline in workers in some of the weaving countries, and some of the mom-and-pop rug stores that have been in generational type retailers have gone by the wayside as times have gotten tough. So some of the retailers that are still in business are getting a bit creative in how they market. And prior to the Vegas market, I got to go visit a rug specialist, Northwest Rugs and Furniture. And one of the ways that they do it is, how a lot of your furniture retailers will use a rug to highlight a table or a sofa. Well, they've added furniture within the past couple of years, and they use their vignettes to showcase the rug.
And I've been working on an interesting new partnership between Overstock.com and Art Van Furniture in Warren, Michigan. Their Art Van's been expanding all different kinds of ways. They're growing into Chicago, and they're looking at getting deeper into Ohio. But they're also growing their digital footprint, and one of the ways they're trying to do it is they've developed a relationship with Overstock, where they're basically almost mirroring their artvan.com website on Overstock. So they've given themselves a national footprint on the digital side. And it started early this year, and so far they say they're happy with how it's going, and we'll see what happens from here.
I'm Bill McLaughlin in Furniture Today, where we're undergoing renovation. We hope you turn into this week's edition, where we have thrown in everything, including the kitchen sink. Thank you, and we'll see you next week.